Attention, everyone. This is Trekyards. He's Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley? What do I hear there, Stuart? Is a ship coming close?
There's something of menace approaching, sir.
Is it Shrike?
It is the Shrike.
Is it shriking in our ears via a bong? Yes, we did a review once on this ship, as in on an episode, and I played that every time, and it literally in Picard season 3, the villain ship is called the Shrike, designed by John Eves. In the end, all lots of consult was made by various people, and every time it's on screen, it makes a schwong noise. Basically every single time. We're going to look at it, Stuart, in high detail. This is the Star Trek Online team's wonderful recreation, including some comparison and scale things. We know looked at this in this level of detail, Stuart, so I'm excited. And we're going back to Picard season 3, which was a fantastic series. So, beautiful first shot. What do you think? What do we think? How do you feel now you've seen it, and then seeing it now in fresh?
I've always thought the ship looked super aggressive, and I loved the conversation that was generated around it when it first was seen. It's got the Enterprise D's secondary hull attached. Oh my god!
We will see that. I've got shots.
It's obviously the bluegills from Conspiracy, because look at the shapes, and then it also looks very Breen-like. It also looks very Cardassian-like. There's a lot of things kind of thrown at it that kind of make it feel like other things. It's a nondescript ship, but it looks very aggressive, and I think that's the point.
Yeah, this I think is a very effective use of simple, bold shapes, because if you look at it, it's a crab with pincers at the top, a conventional deflector at the bottom, and then one wing point cloned, and that's the entire design, right? It's actually very simple. But actually, because there's so much little subtlety of, as you can see, some of the pincers have lots of sharp details and variable angles, so it gives it more depth. The pincers, obviously, the main one there's more to it within those simple shapes that give it not just that looks boring and simple. So it's a very good design in that respect. Yes, it could be in many sci-fis, but in Trek it works well. And as we know from the series, Vadic is a bounty hunter-esque character, so as they said, I believe at one point, we don't want it to look Dominion, because it's not Dominion. It's some ship she got some time to do some killing. It's some ship, right? That's kind of good. It's the fact it's nondescript means she got it from somewhere. Where? Doesn't matter. I don't know. Could it have been a Riemann design that they repainted or got rusty over the course of whatever and then added more guns? It could have been, right? But if it was a bluegill, that would have been also really kind of amazing if they'd come back and the ship had been there.
Oh my god, it's bristling with impulse engines.
Yeah, it is. So many.
Just fast ship, probably. I don't know. Well, it had to compete against the Titan, who also had a lot of impulse engines, just for the record.
Well, there was only like a light cruiser, so technically, they never stood a chance. That's the whole point. But yeah, this thing is definitely packing, which is odd because you could have totally had a slew of aft torpedoes in their main body. She's a predator.
When you said Riemann, yeah, that definitely has a Riemann vibes to it, like the scimitar. So, yeah,
it's definitely scimitar adjacent. You wouldn't be that squeamish to be like, yeah, it's like next gen scimitar, but a cruiser version, because variants happen, right? But no, it's just really cohesive. Although it does amuse me slightly that the impulse drives on the wings are in a recessed cut-in, so they've got to kind of like travel further, like kind of like fight themselves in terms of impulse, because none of them are shooting straight back. Just kind of an interesting take on that.
And those design details of those ones that are like on the wings, not like on the struts.
The struts, yeah.
That design detail with those lattice, those slats there, looks very reminiscent of something else, but I can't place it.
Mm-hmm. Voyager, I think, probably.
No, it's something else. But it's you can see a lot of John Eves in here, because he does reuse a lot of shapes and things.
But not just John Eves. Like, it doesn't just feel like a John Eves sketch, which is good. Yeah. Now, what do you think of the coppery paint? Because in the show, obviously, they were in a nebula for almost the entire time, and a lot of harsh lighting. So this has been the quote-unquote true colour of the Shrike, which I don't know if I necessarily got from the episodes. What do you think, seeing it?
I kind of like it. I like that it's multiple different colors in there, which is nice, and it's kind of like its own Aztecing, but not pearlescent, you know?
Because in the episodes, it was orange nebula, so the whole thing was bathed in just very orange light. This is obviously far more nuanced than that.
Yeah, it felt very copper in the show.
I like this. I actually like this split. Actually, I think it works rather well. It does make it feel, but I think it's a plain colored ship, but it works well. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of copper details there. So,
and they're logical in plates. Next view, there's a bottom view, low light, but that is aggressive, mean, and will cause you damage. You know.
Yeah, the secondary hull shape there is different than I expected.
Next view, though, is from the bottom. Now that looks like a bug, straight out of, or even Vorlon ship from Babylon 5, actually. But again, really aggressive. Just everything's just reaching out to cause chaos.
I was just going to say, it feels like it's reaching towards you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that secondary hull, which people said was, it's the secondary hull of the Enterprise D. Obviously. Yeah.
It isn't.
You got some weapons emplacements on the bottom there, photon torpedo launchers or something. And it's funny the things people said when that first was seen. My God. Anyway,
obviously, yeah, it just looks super aggressive. Like it really does, and I think more aggressive than Scimitar.
Yes,
I think that probably sweeps better. This comes at you better, right? Different sort of aggression. Next video, we're getting some detailed shots of this pincer. Again, very bug-like, but fits it very well, I think.
Again, that particular shape just invokes so many things in my brain of what it's similar to. You know, it's a very like I said, it's a very nondescript ship because you're not quite sure if it's got elements from different species that have been put together. If this was one cohesive design, it's got some interesting details and ideas.
Or at least implied details and ideas going on. And a few windows, but not many, which I think actually works for this design. Next up, though, is the deflector.
It does look very Enterprise D-like from this angle. It's not quite as squat, but, I mean, just take that shape and just kind of squish it, and you got... Yeah.
I believe they'd said originally this design was designed to be the special weapon, and they changed that in the script. And it's just a thing. Because it does feel super tacked on, because it's literally tacked on. Not a bad thing by any means, but it does feel different. But that also gives it a certain freshness of they're a bounty hunter, they do things to improve their ship. This is a logical addition they had, and it gives it a uniqueness, kind of like the Millennium Falcon having only one side, the cockpit. Had that ship been mirrored, it would look a lot less cool. This adds a cool factor that's hard to describe, right? Next, there's a close-up of the engines. Again, just really nice, really bold. This thing can go fast. Dal will be proud.
Those center impulse engines, I'd be totally fine if those got deleted and those were in fact shuttle bays of some kind.
Yes. Yeah. Well, fighter bay. It's a big ship in this case. Yeah. That would be nice, yeah. Changeling running fighters. Yeah. That makes sense.
Or drones or something, yeah.
Especially that's like a giant aircraft carousel open bay to imply we warp in. You're not meant to see the back of us. Therefore, we have to defend it in the same way. We'll shoot you, launch things, and then force field, and that could be a fun shot. Yeah, I'll buy that. The next video, orthographic, top and bottom. I always forget the bottom pincers go out further because it's so hidden in the design language, but they do.
Again, super aggressive, and it's even more aggressive looking here because there's ridges and stuff on the side of those claws that you don't necessarily see from other angles. So
yeah, I think there's a really pleasing stab you, death kill angles, and if anything, it looks like the top of a predator spear.
Yeah, I was thinking the top of a spear weapon of some kind. Yeah.
Gosh, we've done this a long time.
Or the Batwing.
Well,
that has to be said too. Few tweaks, you could make this a Batwing for sure.
But very Predator tech, even the color scheme.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, it's a really, really good. I think it's just, they work, and you don't even know this until you finish the design. It's going to look good from every angle. And obviously, we've done the filming today when not everything does. This, I think, looks really good from this angle. And then the other views, of course, front, back. And we did see the front quite a bit in the show because it would come at us. So that feels quite familiar. Side view, pretty dull, but that's not the view you see most of the time.
Yeah, side view is dull. The other two seem less imposing because those no longer look like points or spears or anything aggressive. Just looks like rounded, just round balls on the end. You pull up a ship in front of them. It's like, yeah, you want to look intimidating. Angle us down a little bit. Yeah,
from a 3/4, ensign, helm, and yeah, a lot of back thrust. That is every possible space except the bottom emitter is an impulse engine, basically.
Well, I mean, we say that, but it's just red glows. Because if you look at the front of the claws, not in this view, but there are red elements on the front. So
True.
It's just like, look, we're red. Red means evil. I've learned this over the course of my life.
Yeah. Hey, fair point. Fair point. Now let's look at some scale. And this actually, for slight clarification, I scaled this about several months ago based on reference I found. So I trust past me for scaling it correctly. It does look right based on other things, but I did pre-scale this because I do that for productions. I always, if I convert a model, I always get it scaled. I just love seeing things with other things, right? This is the D from Generations ILM model and the E from First Contact's promo material, both licensed models, both correctly scaled to each other. And there's the Shrike right in between.
Okay, first of all, I want to say the Shrike feels way too big. I never got a sense it was that big, especially compared to the Titan, because the Titan would be smaller than any of these. This just, with the amount of windows on the Shrike and stuff, it just feels like this is way too big. But that being said, I think a lot of the elements of the Shrike are either weapon or engine based. Mm-hmm. So it's that center part is kind of like where the crew would be, and then
the only ship is the middle, right?
Yeah, the rest is all just intimidation and weapons.
And the bridge of it, quote unquote, is not a very interesting sort of smallish room. That's the big command center, so I kind of buy. But I think, as you said, it's like the scimitar, right? It's an intimidation size versus a whatever. And yeah, and certainly Titan is an oddly sized ship. It's small. It's the smallest Enterprise for a while. But these are obviously pushing forward, pushing bigger. But I kind of like it. This feels like, again, they're trying to be imposing, while actually, internal volume-wise, it's kind of a lie. Like the Deredex, right? Similar-ish. But yeah, super cool to see it. Because we might have seen it against the E if the narrative had been different. But the D was in the story, but never combined. So that would have been them if they faced off. And this changes everything when you start to see the front view.
Yeah.
Because as we know, the D and the E are actually, wow, the same length, the same size. No. Every other view, they're not the same size in terms of volume and such. It's deceptive in their sizing. And then the Shrike was much bigger, right?
Yeah, and that clearly can't be the secondary hull of the Enterprise D.
Yes.
Look at the scale difference.
Yes. Which you can't know until you know. And it's funny because if this was designed, quote unquote, to fight the best of the E, this now feels intimidating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But facing the last gen baddie, the D, it feels small. So, but that's old, right? So it would feel intimidating to the E. So I actually kind of like that logic. I'm just going back one step, right?
Yeah. Well, it feels super intimidating to the Titan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's such a cool thing to see. I like how similar the deflector is to the E. I wonder if that was intentional.
Never noticed that before.
Yeah. But let's notice it in depth. Stuart, look, it's totally the same as the Enterprise D, what everyone said. It's not at all the same. Like,
we debunked that, instantly, by the way, for the record.
Yeah. But here's a comparison. It is not at all the same, except it has side lips, basically.
Yes.
Like aesthetically, it is vibing similar, of course, inspired by, but actually design-wise, they're not even close.
Yep.
Just wanted to ensure it's there. Yeah, exactly. But it's cool, though. And here we go, end on a beauty. Yeah, I think she's actually rather good as a ship. Could definitely be in many different shows on TV. Would be perfect in Babylon 5. But you know what? That's okay.
Anyway, guys, what do you think of the Shrike?
And do you like it more now, seeing it in this sort of very stark, clean detail? Because, you know, we linger, we appreciate, we see it in a whole new way. Do you like it more?
And we present it to you so you guys can appreciate it in a new way. So comment down below what you think. If you've learned anything, if your views have changed, what you thought of it when you first saw it. Let us know your journey with the Shrike in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and make sure you click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any future content from us, either edited or live. We love hanging out with you guys, and you guys can come and join us.
And while you're with us, you can super chat your thoughts, comments, questions, or just hi. We do like a hello. And while super chatting there, you can super thanks on a video like this. It's a little thank you donation. It does make this channel keep going. Or if you want to be a regular supporter, a Patreon. A patron, you could say. Then support on Patreon monthly, or join the channel if you want to stay on YouTube as well. All great ways. So thank you in advance for each everything.
That's right. So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
And he is Rom Foley.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.